Okay, good story. Okay, everybody knows about the Confederate monument that's today at the courthouse in Funiac Springs. Okay, right after the Civil War, there were still animosities between the North and the South, and it took a while for everything to smooth down, but eventually it did. And around 1871 or so, the Women's Association raised money, and there was a contributor named John Morrison gave quite a bit of money toward the monument to have it donated to have it built. And the reason why he lost several sons during the Civil War, or war between the states. Anyway, they finally got the money together, and they had it made in New Orleans. When it came back to Walton County finished, the original plan was to put it in sacred ground. So the idea was it was going to be at the Uchee Valley Church, where most of the soldiers were buried there, and it originally was there briefly. Then all of a sudden they had a quickie vote, and some of the guys and McKinnons were involved with it. They said, "Hey, we want it up here at the courthouse." So they did a quickie vote, and they grabbed it, moved it up to the Uchee Valley, Ucheana courthouse area up there. The Morrison family found out about it. They did not concur with that. That's not what it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be on, let's say, at the church. So one evening, he got his sons together with ox cart, and they went up there to the Ucheana. They grabbed the monument, loaded it, didn't hurt it. They had all patted down with hay so it wouldn't hurt it, scratch it. They hauled it back to the Uchee Valley Church. Well, McKinnon's didn't like it. The other crowd didn't like it. Nope, wasn't going to work. It's got to be back. They wanted it back. So it went back and forth. There was feuding going on where it should be. So it actually went to the Superior Court in the state of Florida for a decision. It went actually twice. And what the judge said was that the Morrison family did not hurt the monument, so there wouldn't be no charges against it. But they said, the final outcome was just, hey, we're going to put it back at the Ucheana courthouse area. At one time, the brickwork base was there. And when they cut the timber, though, they went in and they pushed all the actual mount down. Well, it stayed there till around 1926. When the Walton County Courthouse was built, up there, the original part in the front is today, there was having vandalism taking place. And as a matter of fact, we got a photo, and if you look at the photo, there's two ladies beside it. There's 10-foot posts with barbed wire on it. And people were vandalizing it, and they said, hey, we need to put it where it can be, looked after, not been defaced. So they decided to move it to where it is today at the Walton County Courthouse. And the 91 names there, if you go up there and look at them, they're all on their list of the individuals that died fighting for the Confederacy. And it's a memorial. Everybody says, well, it's a monument, this, and this. No, if you look on there, it's for the individuals that died. It's no different than a World War I, a World War II, a Vietnam War memorial. It's got the names of the individuals that died. They died for what they believed in. So, and I say, they can argue the point about this and that, but it's for the war dead, and that's the way I look at it. It's memorial is what it is. But that's how it got up there today. The story goes there's a guy named Dave was going to court, and he didn't want to go to court and fight the issue, whatever. And supposedly he snuck in there and torched the courthouse. It was a log cabin, 2-story log cabin building is what it was. They had a vote. Everybody thinks they just moved it, whatever because the railroad was up there. No, they had a vote. And the majority vote moved it to the Funiac because, they had power, they had water, they had all the nice amenities, and that's how it got moved up there, is by vote, the citizen vote. There are some records at University of West Florida has got them in storage there. I've got copies of some. It's not all of them, but some of them. And some of the county records, they're out there. There is some. Well, of course, all our families always talked about it for years and generations, always passed it down. Pretty much the story goes on August 11th, 1944. And of course, everybody moved off Eglin. They used it for bombing ranges and stuff. We're real close by, still are today. But Uncle Alfred and his wife and his son, Isaac David, had went down to the neighbor with their brother to visit. And there was James Marvin there. He went to visit with his family. And they were all sitting on the front porch, just having conversation, whatever, and having dinner. And back then, you know, there was no electricity. All they still used lanterns. They didn't get electricity until around the 1950s. So they were all congregated there, just having a good time, talking, conversation and such. And all of a sudden, they heard something buzzing. And Uncle Alfred said something's wrong. He could see lights and stuff coming, and he told me something. He kept screaming, something wrong, something wrong. So Uncle Alfred took off when they heard the bombs whistling. He took off up the road with his son Isaac David. A bomb hit them in the road, trying to get back to his house. It killed Uncle Alfred on that explosion, and it hit Isaac David. It messed him up pretty bad. He eventually got an infection in his leg and lost his leg, but he was hit. There were 6 total bombs. They were fragmentation bombs. The second one come in there and it hit the front porch, and that's where most of the kids and everybody was sitting at. It killed Uncle Jim, it killed his daughter Winnie, and killed his son James. And it was fragmentation bombs, small bombs. There were 6 of them that hit the house and hit the barn. And of course, you can imagine fragmentation bombs, you know, metal splintering through. And it basically, when it hit the kids, it decapitated Winnie completely, and it hit James in the head, and just, they said, my dad said, just, you know, splattered brain matter all over the front porch. But I say it killed Uncle Alfred, wounded his son, Isaac David, wounded his wife, Pearl. It killed Uncle Jim, his daughter Winnie, and his son James, Marvin Jr. It wounded his wife, Aunt Belle, and then it was Thomas and Frank Cosson also. It wounded them. And it basically, my dad said when they went down there later, said they could hear them hit. There's 6 of them hit. And then said, my granddaddy said they're bombing Mama's place. They're bombing Mama's place. And they got in the horse and wagon, went down there, and after it happened, of course, my cousin Wallace was just around the corner where their family was at. You know, everybody all congregated there. It was all Cosson family at the time, still is. Military wouldn't do nothing. One of them, I think Alfred died at the hospital because they wouldn't take him at Eglin. They wouldn't take him. That plaque didn't get put up just a few years ago. You know that. We had our own there for like 40-something years. Never even acknowledged it. Uncle Alfred had a farm loan. They gave the family $500 to bury him and whatever, and they took back like $350 of it for the farm loan. Yeah, and then Aunt Pearl, they screwed her basically on hers. Isaac David, ID didn't get. I remember seeing him when I was at family reunions. Earl Hutto finally got him Social Security disability like 4 or 5 years before he died. He got nothing. And Aunt Belle, Jim's wife, she got, I think she got enough to bury him, and she got something like Social Security or something for the kids, but that was it. I mean, you're talking about millions of dollars if somebody got hurt nowadays, much less killed. But it was during the war. You didn't sue the government. They just didn't do it. Uncle Alfred's son, Shelley, one of my dad's first cousin, he was in, during World War II, he couldn't come home. They wouldn't let him come home for the funeral. He didn't even get to go to the funeral.
But there is a monument there now.
Yeah, you know why? There was a fire chief at Eglin, read about it somewhere in some article somewhere, and he said, "You got to be kidding me! Right here in our neighborhood." And he says, "Yeah." He got involved with it. He pushed it through. Wasn't no congressman, wasn't no county commissioner. I got the article back here. There was a general there when I was still stationed at Eglin at the time. I was in the Air Force, and there was a general contacted me, wanted to know about it. He didn't even know about it, and he was daggum head honcho at Eglin.